so much for another day. So this is the second day of the National Science and Maths Quiz 2023 prelims. Welcome to the review show. My name is Jacqueline Dubafo, your host for today, and let me just remind our viewers that the National Science and Maths Quiz 2023 also marks the 30th anniversary edition of the program. So today I'm joined by two incredible gentlemen. Very happy to have you guys here. I've got Mr. Jonas Lawson, the Assistant Coordinator for Kumasi Academy, and Mr. Evans Ajay Echampong, the Coordinator for St. Louis Senior High School. Just before we start, gentlemen, let me take this opportunity to acknowledge that the 30th anniversary edition of the program is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with GO and supported by Joy News, AT, Prudential Life Insurance, Ghana, Pepsodent Toothpaste, Better Malt, Garnet, Coronation Insurance, Academic City University College, Accra College of Medicine, Cowbell, Bell Beverages, GTP, Newmont, Ghana, Africa World Airlines, and YFM. And of course, this is a primetime production. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. How are you today?
Thank you, too. We are doing good.
I'm good.
Lovely. Just before we start diving into more analysis, what is your take on today's contest? Let me start off with you, Mr. Lawson.
All right, thank you very much. I think today's contest was really impressive. I like the performance of both schools. I mean, my school, Kumasi Academy, and Sims, the results were just impressive. It was really a tense and a tough match, but indeed, I'm happy my school came out victorious. Yeah.
How about yourself, Mr. Echampong?
Yeah, today's contest, you see, Science and Maths Quiz is revolving. Now, all schools are able to train very good, very hard, and perform on the day. So, given the stage, prelim, the questions we know are a bit easier. So, all schools can attempt these questions, which makes it very tricky at this stage. If you're not careful, you might lose the contest. Because all schools can answer these questions. They're not that difficult. So, we knew it to be tough. No school in Science and Maths Quiz now is easy for the other schools. You can be a bigger school, a smaller school, but they'll give you a contest. Mm-hmm. So we knew, yes, round one, they can answer their questions. We answer our questions. But the speed, we will differentiate between the two schools, and that happened.
I see, yeah, and that's, So one thing that I noticed was, in terms of the problem of the day, we had 4 schools scoring perfect, 10 out of 10. What was the reason behind that? Was it because it was, the questions were more comprehensive, or, the schools were more prepared this year, or this second contest, or?
Going by the trend of Science and Maths Quiz, always prelim, the POD, is a bit easier. We know this. It's a bit easier. As we move ahead, 1/8, quarterfinals, becomes harder. So prelim, and most schools do pray for maths POD, physics POD. But given the chemistry PODs, where you have to balance the equation, you have to write the equation before you can proceed to solve anything you want to solve. It becomes a bit tricky.
Right.
So provided you get a maths question prelim, it's a bit easier. Even physics, it's okay. But chemistry, even biology, what we have in our syllabus, the POD, at times they go off board. They'll bring a question where students have no idea about the question.
Indeed.
But maths, physics, at this stage, POD, it's okay. So if you get these questions, yes, of course, you can score 10 on 10.
Absolutely. Let me just, acknowledge the schools that scored 10 out of 10. So we had Fijai SHS, West Africa SHS, Aware SHTS, and St. Joseph's Seminary SHS. Well done to these schools. So let's just, analyze the various contests we had today, starting off with they won the first contest number 10 at Sarah Mensah Auditorium, which is where we're bringing you today's review. So we had TI Amas Fomina, Bolgatanga SHS, and Rugentrofen SHS. Mr. Lawson, what do you take on this?
I think it was a good contest also, starting the day. And TI Amas really took advantage of the contest. You know, the other private school, they are new in the contest. So they will have a little problem, you know, adapting to the whole euphoria of the whole show. But the thing is that, as I said earlier, TI Amas took advantage of the contest. And right from round one, when even the big boss was trying to push in, they pushed harder. And the speed was also able to differentiate between them. And the POD 2, they scored 10-10. And that was impressive. And I think that, as my brother said earlier on, every school is just trying their possible best in this stage of NSMQ to just bring the best out. So you can't undermine any school. Everybody is preparing seriously just to be the best. If not the best, to be among the best.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Mr. Lawson. Mr. Champon, so let me just move on to contest number 14, which took place at Kuma Play Auditorium, Fijai SHS versus West Africa SHS and Koga SHTS. So both Fijai and West Africa scored 10 out of 10 for the problem of the day. What's your take on that?
Scoring POD, as I said earlier on, depends on the question. I don't know if you have the question here. Was it a math question or a physics question?
I do not have the
You
question
don't have
here.
it here, okay.
Yeah.
It's impressive, but it depends on the question. It depends on the question that they had for the POD. The same students, different question, they might score even 0. That we know. So if it's a physics question, math question, yeah, I expect them to score. And Fijai is an old guy in this game. From the days, they have been always been coming, always present. So giving them these questions, I expect them to score. So I'm not surprised that they had 10 on 10.
Indeed.
And even our even had 10 on 10. That was just impressive. And as my brother said, at this level, the questions are quite easier. So you just have to take advantage of it, because as you move ahead or higher, the question become a little bit difficult. And, So I think that is some of the variations in the stages. And people are trying to just adapt and take advantage of it. When it's your turn, you just take it. If you don't get it that day, we move on.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. So at KNUST SHS Auditorium, we had Obri Yabua SHS versus Archbishop Portugals SHS and Samuel Otu Presby SHS. I had guests yesterday, and the prediction was the Portugals to progress to the next stage, but that wasn't what we saw today. So what are your thoughts on that? Where did they fall flat?
Falling flat. They didn't really fall flat. It's a game and it's a quiz. You get it? And it's your preparation and your day. Today you don't get it the way you want it. Another day will be your turn. Because, for example, if they would have gotten they should have been in yesterday's contest, they would have qualified. It's just a probability. But today's question might not be favorable to them, depending on what they've learned. So they didn't really fall flat. It's just a quiz. And at the end of the day, one person have to emerge winner. So the other school took advantage of that. They packed their scores, they took their bonuses and other stuff, and they were able to emerge winners, even though Archbishop Potter girls are old folks in this game. But yet, everybody is preparing. You can't undermine any school in this competition. Look at even the number of private schools now trooping in. It means that people just want to get into it. It's a serious game. It's a serious quiz. Only serious people are interested. And everybody wants to just get into it, to just make it interesting. And so now you can't undermine any other school in this contest, because everybody coming in is prepared for something. Everybody is coming from qualifiers. It means we didn't just come by chance. We came by preparation. Indeed. So if anybody is just going to just do a little bit better than you or add something small than you, the person will just triumph over you.
Absolutely, and I totally agree, because there's only 1 point separating Obri Yabua and Portugals. They may have a slight chance of making it into the top 12 runners-up. So hopefully they will be praying very hard tonight, I guess. Right, so let's move on to the next one. I have to admit, I'm going to start talking about context 19, which I'm sure you know very much well about. Kumasi Academy SIM HSS. Both schools are based in the Ashanti region, so I was quite excited, and Sandema SHS. So one thing I noticed about this contest was the taking advantage of the home crowd. And with Kumaka, I noticed, throughout the contest, I saw more people, more of your supporters coming in, and that actually sort of solidified your lead a bit better. Can you just walk us through how you prepared for everything, but not review your sort of tactics? I mean, I don't think other schools would mind if you do, but yeah.
Oh, no problem. I think preparing the student for the quiz is actually one of the most tedious thing to do. I know all the teachers, the coordinators, they're not getting it easy. Even sometimes support coming is a little bit difficult. But how we do it? Let me speak a little pidgin. It comes with your passion. And, sometimes you want to press harder, but the students are not ready. But what do you have to do? You still have to you still have to keep on pressing in order to get what you want. And as I said earlier, preparing them is not easy. You have to take them through the normal syllabus. They have to finish on time. Now get them through the quiz materials one after the other. And it's finishing the syllabus before final year or just in final year, then going back to quiz materials is a whole thing altogether. Now, the student's ability to be able to absorb what has been studied, because they are not just quiz students, they also write their WASI, of which they have already done that. So they need to make sure that they also pass their WASI very well, because as a quiz guy, you have to make sure that you get the 8 A's or your 7 A's or 6 A's. And combining the two is quite tedious, yes, from the side of the student. And sometimes they get to the extent that, I have exams, I have quiz. Which one should I choose? They are students and they are humans. They also have to make a choice. But what has been an advantage for most of the schools is that, when it comes to that, the students are able to merge the two and yet prioritize the two at the same time. With the training, a lot goes into it. I can't say everything. You just have to, teaching them, taking them through various trials, traveling up and down, just to make sure that what they have been taught, they can produce it. And I remember just last week or last 2 weeks, I think throughout the week, we just moved from one school to the other, we even hosted our colleague St. Louis, just to make sure that all what they have learned, they'll be able to bring it out on the day of accountability. And it wasn't easy. You come back after a trial, so you have to now go back and solve everything for your student to get it, because you don't know which questions are coming. So you prepare for everything. Absolutely. And that is really tedious.
Absolutely. And one thing I noticed was there was a point where 5 points were deducted.
Yeah.
Would you say your school lacks discipline, or what happened right there?
All right. I won't say my school lacked discipline. It's just one of those things which happened. And one thing is that I'm also happy that it happened, in a sense that they've learned their lesson. Who knows? If they didn't do it now, maybe in the next contest, if they should have done it, it would have been more dangerous than now. But now they've learned their lesson, and next time we have to keep it down. And in terms of discipline, they were disciplined on stage. Even with the -5, they still kept their calm. They were not perturbed, still stood their grounds and fought to the last round of the contest. And they won. And that is why that is when I would take the Accra Suffolk, is it proverb or motto, never say die until the bones are rotten. They didn't say die, even with the -5, until we got down to the last part of the contest, and we made victorious. And that is fantastic. It has never happened before, per my knowledge, as far as NSMQ is concerned. Sorry, it has never happened before that a school had a -5 and still won the contest. And still won the contest. That's super.
Yeah,
and I really appreciate my student for that stamina and calmness.
Indeed. It's rather unfortunate because you would have been the highest scorer of the
I was
day.
really sad that they stole that from us.
let me then just move on to...
And to add to it,
yes.
Science and Math quiz, schools in Kumasi, we know it is more difficult to meet a fellow school in Kumasi.
Yeah.
In Kumasi, Science and Math quiz is World Cup. They all prepare, all of them. From grade D school to grade A school, they all prepare. So we all pray at this stage to avoid these Kumasi schools. Tiamas, Kumaka.
We are just friends.
Okay. We know ourselves. We'll be doing trials over and over and over again. We know our strengths and our weaknesses.
Yeah.
So at the national stage, we pray to avoid them.
We pray to avoid.
So we know this will happen between Sims and Kumaka. They are all good.
Indeed. I mean, to be fair, Sims can still make it. 47 is quite high.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're probably, I think, the top,
Yeah.
either one or two. Between
I think
Labone
Labone
or
was
something.
46 topping,
46.
so 47
now,
will top.
They're the top. So they
qualify.
definitely shouldn't lose hope. And I think they're very likely with 47 to
Sure,
qualify. Right, Mr. Champon, let me move on to the top scorer of the day. So St. Louis versus Ola Girls Kenyase versus St. Joseph SHS. What's your biased opinion?
You see, St. Louis last year, we had a seed, which we lost. So getting this draw at the prelim, what we did was to prepare for this contest as if it's the final.
I like that.
It doesn't matter the schools you are meeting. It's World Cup. It's final. We had a seed, which we lost.
Yeah.
So we must at least regain the seed and proceed to the next stage of competition. And therefore, getting these schools, whether it is Ola or whatever school, it was World Cup. The same preparation, as if it's final. And we did exactly that. And by God's grace, we had a higher score for the day.
Indeed, your school is looking very, very strong. I'm sure other schools are, is the one to beat, isn't it? What's the message you want to send out there?
You see, it's a competition. It is one at a time. You can't be going for 1-8, and you are thinking of the finals now. One at a time. Now we're going to prepare for the next stage of competition. We'll go for balloting, of course. So when we win that contest, then we become seeded. Then we proceed. So it's one at a time. So now the emphasis is on the next stage of competition, not the semi-finals or the finals. We'll get there, yes. But for now, the next contest is the focus now. The same preparation. This is World Cup. It's on TV. Yes, you have to say the school.
Okay, thank you very much for that. So let me just emphasize on tomorrow's contest. So we've got quite a few, 3 for each venue. So at the Sarah Mensah Auditorium, we have KNUST versus TI Amas Kumase versus Toulon. Predictions, please. Quick one.
We have TI Amas Kumasi and we have KNUST. I can't predict.
You can't. So any of those.
I won't predict.
It's going to be quite a contest,
I'm
right?
telling you, interesting
Kumasi
and
derby.
really tense.
What we know is that Toulon Senior High School might suffer.
Yeah.
Right?
That is for sure.
Just as the adage goes, when 2 elephants are fighting, it is the ground that suffers. So as he said, Toulon will suffer a little because TI Amas and KNUST are just coming with full force. Because you can't say you get a 47 or something, so you are just coming to win. And I tell you, it's really going to be an interesting contest.
I'm sure they'll both qualify at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely, thank
yeah.
you. Right, so then the next one is Sarah Mensah. We've got Abri Girls SHS, Methodist, Tema Methodist SHS versus Bongo SHS. I need a name.
Tema Methodist, Abri Girls.
Okay,
Interesting.
Mr. Champo, can I get a name?
Boku Senior High School, they'll be coming for this competition.
Yeah.
But always the performance is a bit below the bar. I expect Abri.
To nail it. Okay, cool. Then we've got
I pray Abri goes through.
goes through. Okay, we've got Pando SHS versus Adujemfi SHS versus Odogono SHS.
I tell you, it's going to be an interesting contest in the prelims. Looking at Odogono from Greater Accra Championship, I think I met Pando in Achimota for a trial, and Edu Jemfi. I'm telling you, these 3 schools are fantastic, and the competition is really, really, really going to be impressive. And it's going to be, I don't know how to describe it, but it's going to be tough. And the only thing is that you have to strategize. And those any school is able to strategize very well will win the contest and just be smart enough. Because it's like all the 3 schools are good. I met Kpando in Achimota and they were fantastic. You get it? Odogono is just doing so well in Accra. And Edu Jemfi, the same thing in Ashanti. So it's going to be a really good contest.
Good. Okay.
I can't predict.
No
but I
worries.
wish all the 3 schools the best.
No worries. Mr. Champon, so at Kumaplay Auditorium, we have Ashaiman SHS, WA SHS, and Manfi Methodist Girls SHS. Quick prediction, please.
I don't have enough information about these schools, except maybe Ashamai,
Ashaiman.
SHS. I know they do prepare, so I expect them to qualify.
Okay. Then we've got Impraso SHS. Impraso, sorry, apologies. Impraso SHS. I'm probably going to need help with this. Achirensuya SHS. Achirensuya SHS versus Kintampo SHS.
I'll go for Impraso.
Yes, I go for Impasse, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, lovely. And then the last contest at Kumaplay Auditorium is Our Ladies of Mount Carmel Girls SHS, Yendi SHS, and Otuo Memorial SHS.
Yeah, I'll go for Our Ladies.
Our Ladies.
At this stage, they are very good. They'll be consistent for, is it 8 years now? Yeah. At this stage.
Okay, thank you. And then at KNUST SHS Auditorium, we've got the following. Contest number 24, Konongo Odumase SHS, Asaman Kese SHS, Sunrise Christian High School. Sunrise are back.
Wow.
One of the private schools.
Yeah.
Right, I think.
You know, Sunrise, Konongo, Dumase is going to be tough. It's going to be a tough match. But I think Konongo Dumase will be really impressive in the championship in Ashanti region. And looking at what Sunrise is doing in the Volta and what Konongo is doing in Ashanti region, I'll tip Konongo Dumase.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Champon, so contest number 27, we have St. Charles Minor Sem SHS, Inkwatia Presby SHS, and Nafana Presby SHS. In fact, Nafana is my favorite name for all the schools. It reminds me of Bafana, you know, the South African.
From South Africa.
So what is your take on that?
St. Charles, I know it's a giant in the north. But with these schools, at times, their preparation may not be enough.
Yeah.
So provided they have enough preparation for this year's contest, I expect St. Charles to do well.
Right, I see.
I know it's a giant in the north.
Okay. And the last contest at KNUST, SHS Auditorium, we've got St. Mary's Boys SHS, Ya Santua Girls SHS, Aman Fiman SHS. So are the Yas lady gonna come back?
I pray they do.
You pray they do.
I don't really have much information about St. Mary's Boys and the other school. But I pray Ya Santua do. For the pride of Ashanti.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to come on the show. As you all know, we look forward to tomorrow's contest. It's going to be a very, very interesting one. Let me also take this opportunity to acknowledge our sponsors. So the 30th anniversary of the National Science and Maths Quiz is proudly brought to you by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with GOL and supported by Joy News, AT, Prudential Life Insurance, Ghana, Pepsodent Toothpaste, Bettermalt, Garnet, Coronation Insurance, Academic City University College, Accra College of Medicine, Cowbell, Bell Beverages, GTP, Newmont, Ghana, Africa World Airlines, and YFM. My name is Jacqueline Bafo, and I've been your host for today. And of course, this is a primetime production. Thank you so much. Take care and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.